What's up guys, it's BT here, and what's really driving the keyboard community is customization, and that's where this new NZXT function comes in that's doing something special that other keyboard brands aren't doing at the moment. It's an attempt to bridge the gap between low quality gaming keyboards that we used to see and custom keyboards and bringing them together to make a baby, which is this function. Now, what really caught my eye about this keyboard is the ability to change the colors and customization before you even get the keyboard through NZXT's BLD site. Here you can choose between the base keycaps, gray or black, accent keycaps for the enter arrow key, and numpad keys. You can also change the accent cable color. One thing to note though is that they do charge you this extra $10 to go this route to build it for you. The pre-made ones are gonna come in at the normal price on Amazon. I'm not sure about the logistics on that, but okay, I guess. The pricing seems to be standard to what these gamer focused keyboards are going for, 120 to 150 for 3 sizes. It's available in a full size, yuck, a 10 keyless, better, and this mini TKL with the keys bunched over to the right. Essentially, it's a 75% keyboard. Aesthetically, I like that 75% the most out of all of these. Looks nice and clean. You get that smaller footprint. As for the build quality, let's talk about that a little bit. This case features a two-tone case. You can either get the white top or the black top. It has aluminum top plate and a plastic bottom, similar to the older style of gamer-focused keyboards. It's USB-C with a detachable cable. They also give you a key switch puller and a wrist rest as well. The top plate on the default is white, and this will reflect RGB a lot more. It also acts as a plate where the stabilizers and switches will sit into. Now, I was really skeptical about these plate mounted stabs that they put on here. Upon looking at them, I thought they were the same generic stabilizers that we've been seeing on those old gamer keyboards, but these actually have a different texture to them. We'll talk about that later in the sound test. The good thing about this keyboard is that since it's Hotswap, yes, it is Hotswap, you can take out the stabilizers and mod them. Now, I know I always get on Hotswap, you know what I call them. But in this case, this is an entry-level keyboard and it's for people that want to try a bunch of switches, so I'm okay with that. In the sound test, I'm going to show you unmodded and modded, so stay tuned for that for the stabs. Long story short, I think I got them to a very usable place during the sound test. Now, I love the scroll wheel on the side of the keyboard. It feels very natural to use. It's in a great place. The quality doesn't feel as good. It's not smooth like some other keyboards. It just feels like it was an afterthought, although it does work well. There's also 3 buttons on the side that control the RGB, mute, and lock button. It's kind of a shame that you can't rebind these in the NZXT CAM software. On the bottom of the keyboard, there's 3 levels kickstand to get your proper height, and the keyboard feet themselves do a good job of keeping the keyboard in place. I'm sad to report that these are ABS keycaps, okay? They're shine through and they feel cheap. You know, the kind where you kind of feel it stick to your finger a little bit, doesn't feel that great, feels sticky, they feel super thin, and they probably will develop some spots from like oils from your hands over a couple of months of use. Yeah, these are these same ones. If I were to get this keyboard, I'd immediately switch out the keycap shortly after. It looks like NZXT did their homework, but failed to complete it with PBT keycaps, which are a lot more durable and will last a lot longer at this price point. It's a real missed opportunity here, and I just don't know what they were thinking here. Now, these do come with Gatoron switches. They're available in red, blue, brown, silent black inks, and alias silence. Solid choices. I was going to recommend the silent black inks, but those actually are an additional $70 for the upgrade on the mini and the TKL, and $80 to upgrade the full sized. Now, this is on top of the price point that they are already putting out there, so you're looking at around 200 plus if you go with those last 2 switches. The other ones have the normal price. This is just insanity, okay? You can just buy these switches for a lot cheaper on your own. I think you can get them for about 55 bucks. What's going on here? Once you get up to that $200 price point, you start getting into the custom keyboard realm, and the quality kind of goes up from there, right? So if you're putting this keyboard that's $120 up at $200, even though you're getting some extras, you start talking about the KBD Fan 67 lights of the world, and this keyboard doesn't want to smoke with the KBD fans, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now because I picked that keyboard over this one in a heartbeat at $200. Now, let's drop a sound test, though, so you guys can hear what this keyboard sounds like. Now the keyboard doesn't sound bad at all, I must admit. It's not a rattly mess like the gamer keyboards of old. It's not a $500 custom either, and it shouldn't sound like it. In fact, I'd be pretty mad if it did. The stabilizers do take some modding to make them sound good. I hit them with some dielectric grease and some Krytox 205 grade 0 loop, which I'll link down below. And I gotta say, they sound a lot better than I expected. There's some slight shifting of the wire in the housing that you can still hear, but for the most part, they're smooth. Now, I'm not particularly fond of the cam software. It's caused some issues for me in the past, interfering with other softwares. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. In here, you'll be able to change the RGB modes, to create macros, assign keystrokes. Missing notably, like I said, is the ability to customize these 3 side buttons, or at least I just couldn't find it. So NZXT, they made a decent mainstream keyboard, but they forgot the PBT. It's overpriced, especially if you get those switches, but could be great for those of you guys who trust NZXT. It looks just like their cases, so I can see a lot of people wanting to match their entire setup with these. It's from a manufacturer that's been known to produce some aesthetic looking stuff. I love the ability to customize the keyboard through their website, and I think that's a super interesting idea that can one day come to custom keyboards. Until then, I think that they really need to go back to the drawing board and put PBT keycaps, or at least offer it on the build site later on, because they kind of squandered a good opportunity to make something that would stand out from the rest of the gamer keyboards. Okay, now in use, it was good. It performed like any other keyboard. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary with it. It's a good keyboard in that sense. Just it's a keyboard. Okay, it's Hotswap. You get all that stuff. You'll get to try a bunch of different switches, but if you're looking for something more, it's not there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video on the NZXT function. I hope you have enjoyed it. It has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.